Greetings internet citizens, today I'll be talking about this green owl that
destroys your identity and crushes all your motivation.
just the words
You missed your Spanish, now you vanish.
increase the chance of family disagreements by 50% because your relatives are now this owl and its followers. About it later. The phrase
Trench on trench.
turns you into schizophrenic without no hope of rehabilitation. So without any further ado, welcome to the web, also known as I think the majority already know what Duolingo is, but for some I'll still explain and share my own experience at the same time. Duolingo is a web-based platform for foreign languages learning that was founded in 2011 by Carnegie Mellon University professor Louis von Ahn in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Louis was inspired by the idea of creating a free resource of foreign languages learning because there's a big problem with English in his home country, Guatemala. The idea came to reality in 2012-2013. The app was released on iOS and Android respectively. The app became a massive hit, and to this day it attracts 69 million users a month. Duolingo also has subsidiary apps such as Duolingo ABC, aimed at preschoolers and younger children, and Duolingo for Schools for older students. So where does this popularity for a language learning app come from? The answer is very simple. Duolingo is one big meme. While it was the internet users who originally turned it into a meme, photoshopping a gun into a green owl's wing in 2017. But Duolingo creators kept it going, realizing it was a brilliant marketing idea. Just look at their TikTok account with 17 million followers, where the creators either poke fun at themselves or reference other popular memes, starting from Chicken Jockey and ending with the fitness coach Ashton Hall's morning routine. Some cringe content with the founder himself as well. There is literally everything. To make sure, go find for yourself, it's not difficult to find. Advertising campaigns also paid off. What do you think about the move with app icon changing, where Duo looks completely exhausted? All-seeing, pink, prestigious, gravely ill, that provokes rather disgust than interest. However, some people didn't consider it as a marketing move for attracting users, but rather as a hacker attack, and the app was being deleted immediately. What it actually looks like is up to you. Everything I see is that face.
Appearing in my worst nightmares.
What do you think about various widgets for smartphones that portray the green owl as Da Vinci's Mona Lisa with a cheeky caption, "Time to practice," or the aggressive owl with a countdown timer if you hadn't launched the app and completed the daily minimum one lesson, or the owl peacefully decaying in the desert if you hadn't launched the app for 2 weeks. There are plenty of unique widgets, and if you are curious, you are able to find an entire catalog and be amazed by the whole creativity of creators. Duolingo also sends threatening notifications if it doesn't like you're ignoring it, not to mention the Angry Birds collaboration where a pop-up appears mid-level reminding you to do your lessons. But this was just the beginning. The real shock came when Duolingo was officially declared
Dead.
The creators announced that the mascot had passed away on February 11, 2025. The causes of death are investigated. The users come up with their own theories and make some memes. Could this really be the end of the world-famous app? But a few days later, it was revealed that Duolingo had faked its own death to draw users' attention to the main issue: lesson skipping in the app.
I had two dreams, for people to do their lessons and for Dua Lipa to notice me, but neither of those worked out, and I needed drastic measures.
I forbid you to skip your lessons.
Despite the controversy of the campaign, it was successfully beneficial, sparking a big reaction in social media. Now you have some clarity that Duolingo is
The devil itself.
And on that note, I think we can move on to the app. Before we start, I want to point out that Duolingo also has a browser version, which is not much different from the app one, so for the sake of convenience and better picture, I'll mostly be using the browser version. The English version of Duolingo offers quite a large list of languages to learn, starting from Spanish and French that I currently learn, and ending with Esperanto and Klingon. Those are artificial ones. For the fans of Game of Thrones and House of Dragon is also available Valyrian language to study.
Winter is coming.
There are also non-language courses such as maths and music that are available only in the app, and chess course is also available, which in my opinion is a commendable addition. On your language learning journey you will be accompanied by the mascots of the app: Lily, Emma Girl; Zari, K-pop band's fangirl; Vikram, vegetarian baker; Oscar, intellectual artist; Eddie, buff guy with attention issues; Junior, his hyperactive son; Lucy, former secret agent; Lynn, her dependent granddaughter; Bia, hardworking philanthropist; the bear. Later I found out that his name is Falstaff and he's special, he can talk. And Duo itself, the green owl with slightly maniacal tendencies. A small digression: the choice of the mascot wasn't random, cause an owl is a symbol of wisdom and knowledge, and the green color helps you with mental focus. The name Duolingo literally translates to 2 languages, highlighting that this is an app for second languages learning. Not to mention that the world famous owl didn't always look the way it does. Look at this! No wonder Reddit users nicknamed it the human skin eater. The icon was also frightening to force people to uninstall the app. Thankfully, through small steps, Duo evolved into the mascot we know today. Yes, it's cute, but the appearance can be deceiving.
The human skin eater can be left beneath.
In general, there is a number of modules in Duolingo that involves various life-related topics. It's obvious that English is the most extensive language in Duolingo, since Louis von N originally created the app with the idea of making English accessible to everyone. Keep in mind that all languages I had and have been learning in Duolingo I review mainly through the Russian version of the app. English version currently has 8 modules. For the comparison, French and German versions only have 4 modules each. Each section reminds some kind of a skill tree made up of lessons in which users practice speaking. There has been an increase in pollution in the city. Listen to audio and even transcribe it.
There has been an improvement in their relationship.
But the last one has its own issues, which I'll talk about later. By completing lessons, users expand their vocabulary and gradually begin to understand an entirely new language. This is because the app's approach is based on an intelligence system that tracks which questions cause difficulty and what mistakes were made. It then aggregates this data and uses it for machine learning, allowing the app to create personalized lessons for each user.
Ich höre Stimmen.
Additionally, almost every section includes so-called stories, dialogues between mascots usually presented in a humorous and ironic tone, and involve various life-related topics for teaching users more advanced vocabulary and for auditory perception training.
That's your job, and I want to be just like you.
Wait, you think I'm a lion trainer?
Yes, I was looking in your closet, and I found your leather pants and whips.
First stories are simple to follow, relatively slow-paced, short, and using limited vocabulary.
Elegant woman starts talking to Eddie.
Hello?
Oh, hello.
Are you a doctor?
However, stories progress alongside the user's language skills. The more you learn, the more difficult they get.
Do you watch TV? Every show is about money, murder, or dessert.
I agree. But your mom is going to be mad when she sees this.
The same I can tell about podcasts that emerge only in the mobile app. At the end of each lesson, Duo appears, either alone or with another mascot, and celebrates you on completing the lesson, showing overall statistics, the amount of earned XP, time spent, and answer accuracy. The amount of earned XP can be increased if you've completed daily tasks beforehand that are manageable for every user and for which you get XP boosters for a certain period of time. There is also a ranking system. The amount of your earned XP affects your position on the leaderboard. If you stay in a promotion zone for a week, you move up to the next league. If you are in the demotion zone, you drop to the previous one. 10 leagues in total, the highest diamond. If you make it into the top of 16 in the diamond league, you simply stay in this league till the next week, and so on and so forth. As an example, on day 1000 I've been in a diamond league for 128 weeks straight. And yes, I touch grass. Earn a certain amount XP in the diamond league to stay there is not a big deal if you practice for 30 minutes a day with a boosted XP as described earlier. Some may really believe that Duolingo is the best way to improve their language, but based on my own experience and experience of other people, I assume it's not the best decision to rely entirely or almost entirely on Duolingo. But I'll share my opinion about it at the end of this the video. As you've noticed, every user has their own profile because Duolingo is some kind of social network. You can create your own avatar, check out mine and I adorable, follow other users, though it's hard to call it sending a friend request since no confirmation is required. Simple, but it covers everything you need, which makes it all more confusing why in 2023 there were mass of hacker attacks of Duolingo profiles. I mean, you can't even find some newts or dirt to dig up, just the green owl with a gun in its wing. And lastly, let's talk about the infamous Daily Streak is a tracking system that monitors whether a user opens the app daily and completes at least one lesson. Complete a lesson, your streak continues. I do touch grass, I promise. If you miss a day, either your streak resets and you start waiting for a knock on the door, or a streak freeze activates, which can be purchased in the store. It means your daily streak stays intact and that green creature won't be disappointed, delaying your inevitable doom. To a now knowing user, it may seem like, hey, I guess it's okay, and you'd be right. But as you know, every coin has two sides, and on the other side lies everything Duolingo has degraded in, creating inconveniences for languages learning. Let's begin perhaps with the premium status. If you think premium can't affect your progress that much, well, I'm here to disappoint you. First off, premium gives you unlimited battery. What is battery? For us mortals is the number of tasks you are allowed to fill out while going through lessons. One task, one battery, 25 in total. But hey, don't be too upset, battery can be restored. Waiting the whole day to restore the full one. Watching the ads? Or refilling them all at once for a certain number of gems that you earned by, you guessed it, watching more ads, achieving daily streak goal, or opening chats during completing a section. And get this, refilling battery from the main menu costs 350 gems, but if you run out during a lesson, it's 450. Oh, and of course, you can always just buy gems for real money. Second, Duolingo offers extra practice modes: general practice, speaking, listening, word review, mistake training, and reviewing previously learned stories. Know what you get without premium, just story review. Third, in the mobile version, with premium ads are disabled after each lesson. Without premium, they always show up, thankfully skippable after a few seconds. Electrical leg heater. Fourthly, lessons can be completed on the gold level, aka a harder version of a lesson, including also no hints for words translation. You want to pin a legendary lesson in the section? That'll cost you 100 gems. Guess how much it costs with premium? The answer is free. And premium isn't cheap though. 75 euros a year for an individual plan and 106 euros for a family plan. Up to 6 people, so the whole family can kneel before the deity itself. For comparison, Telegram Premium costs 40 euros per year. It's worth noting that every couple of months you can get a free 3-day trial of Premium to try locked features out and maybe consider buying it for good. There's also a 1 or 2 week free trial if you set up a subscription first. So, is Premium worth it? For advanced users with intermediate knowledge of the language, probably not, because they already understand the structure well and are unlikely to make mistakes during lessons. But you can still take it because of the banal convenience of the lack of advertising. But for beginners, more likely yes than no, especially when the devs themselves say you can progress through the course 4 times faster with premium. As I already mentioned earlier, speech recognition issues can also cause real trouble, especially if the language you are learning isn't English. If you're using a microphone to repeat a sentence or to do a speaking exercise, then even if you say everything like a native speaker with perfect accent and flawless pronunciation, the system might not just understand you, failing to recognize a couple of words.
Non, un nièce et un neveu.
Whole sentences.
J'ai une tante à Toronto.
J'ai une tante à Toronto. J'ai une tante à Toronto.
Or even get you wrong. Let's go back to the modules for a second. Once you complete all available modules, you unlock the final one called Daily Repetition. That's displayed as a circle and it consists of several personalized lessons and stories. And sure, the circle refreshes daily. In a single daily repetition session, the focus isn't just on one topic. Instead, it mixes a few different ones in small doses. Same goes for the stories. The English daily repetition does a great job covering previously learned material and giving you a wide range of topics, vocabulary and training formats. But This is true only for English. For example, in the German daily repetition, you mostly get monosyllabic, that's simple sentences like cheese is yellow, the shadow is black, and so forth, and topic, word, and training varieties are strongly limited. And yes, the daily repetition also includes meant to give your memory a so-called deeper refresh. By the way, the god status you earn for completing a lesson on legend resets the next day. But I got lucky, Duolingo bugged out on me and the first circle for me always stays gold. And that's not the only bug, oh no, there are plenty. You didn't get your double XP bonus for a session? Your problem. Text overlapping other texts? Not a bug, it's a feature. Punctuation issues like double dots at the end of a sentence or lowercase letters starting a sentence. Whatever, move on. Giant empty space that not even Spider-Man could web sling across. See you on Monday. Word bubbles that don't stick together to form a sentence properly. That working owl. Refilling battery watching an ad without watching an ad? Actually, yes please. I mean, unacceptable. And believe me, I haven't even mentioned all the bugs I mentioned earlier. Yes, they exist, but they don't affect the user experience that much. What does affect it though is the lack of full synchronization between the mobile and browser versions of Duolingo. This explains the different rewards for completing daily goals, the absence of podcasts, music and math sections on the web version, and several other minor differences. The thing is, the mobile and browser versions are built on two separate code bases, and most new features are tested on mobile first and only maybe make it to the browser later. And to be honest, the mobile version just looks way more appealing with a broader range of features and a more engaging presentation. And the browser version, on the other hand, feels overly simplified, making the user experience less rich and vastly different from the mobile one. Though I'll give it credit, typing on a keyboard is way easier than tapping and missing buttons on a touchscreen. The last couple of English modules were added fairly recently at the end of 2023, because I've already come to the daily repetition module twice. I finished the new modules, even though it took quite a bit of time, spending 30 minutes a day, and here's my verdict. It's average. One Duolingo employee wrote this on her Reddit account.
Many have done quite a bit of English work already and are looking for more advanced content. This also means they are usually ready for greater independence, so they need less translation. English proficiency often means greater job or educational opportunities, and we want to do our part in opening those doors.
She's goddamn right, there is noticeably less translation now, especially for words or abbreviations you've never seen before. And when you click on them, sometimes there is no translation or it's just wrong in the context. Also, the guides at the start of each section now only include key phrases. By the way, in earlier modules you had some grammar theory too, which previously at least included some translations, but now...
No.
We've released some of this content to our English courses for Japanese, Russian, Chinese, and Italian speakers, and we'll be rolling out the rest in groups. We're hoping to have it all launched by the end of the year.
Why does it look like a fairy tale? That's because this all happened during a massive layoff wave, where real employees were replaced with AI systems. Noticeable, by the way. In English, the most developed course in Duolingo, the mascots now speak in monotone without emotions.
If you want to go to college, pick up that book.
Often skipping words.
They can't.
Not really, but I believe in myself. Positive attitude.
And even mispronouncing them.
And how often?
EW?
The news stories really feel like they were AI generated with all the above issues plus no meaningful message or social depth.
The only planet I know is Earth, Grandma. In science class, we learned the Earth is a planet. I think I missed that day.
It was perfect.
Like, how about that one with Junior who makes $30 per hour and gives random business advices? And same goes for the podcasts. In fact, I had one podcast episode that wouldn't even play till the end because of a glitch in the AI voice. I couldn't even find that episode again, maybe they fixed it already, but I remember how it went and I'll try to recreate it myself.
I see. Should I take him to the vet though? You know, just in case?
Respond! Say something!
Recently, they also added a new learning format in the beginner English modules. The interactive game where you move a character from point A to point B, interacting with mascots and completing an exact task. In my opinion, turning learning into a game is always a good move. It makes the material easier to absorb and keeps users motivated. But can you guess the main problem? Yep, monotone AI voices. Again.
Zari and Lily? You are a good friend, Junior.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
I get that Duolingo has always had a touch of the absurd and some kind of nonsense. Take those sentences like "The microwaves are watching you." That became memes, and even the devs poke fun at themselves for that. But at least those were funny, and the humor made you forget about the quality for a second. But the new content is just absurd theater that doesn't even make you smile. Still doesn't matter too much because they keep rolling out more of it with the same mediocre quality and presentation. Oh no, my coworker forgot her helmet at work. Let me clean it, polish it, and then mail it back to her, Carl. Mail it! And one more small note, not to offend anyone, just an observation. Duolingo often includes LGBT-related references in its content. You can see this in how they design their Reddit thread and in some lessons where characters are shown in the same-sex relationships. I even have screenshots showing examples of this. However, in the Russian language version, that content is no longer present. That's because on February 9, 2024, the Federal Service for Supervision of Communications, Roskomnadzor, launched an investigation into Duolingo for possible LGBT propaganda. As a result, the developers were advised to remove controversial content, and apparently, they complied. Personally, I'm neutral on this topic. I believe everyone has the right to form their own views. But when it comes to an educational platform, especially one where minors might be present, it's important to consider how such topics are presented. I'm not against someone learning about this if it's their own choice, but when certain ideas are introduced in an educational context without warning or alternative perspectives, I believe that can shape one's worldview. And now, we come to the climax of the story. Judging by my words, you might assume that I really dislike Duolingo considering so many flaws, but it's not true. I would rate it 4 out of 5. Though Google Play users disagree with me.
Shut your mouth, you peasant! Call an ambulance! But not for me!
Duolingo is a really cool app that engages users with its unique learning mechanics, bright and colorful visuals, characters that are distinct not only in appearance but in personality, and watching their interactions is genuinely entertaining. But unfortunately, Duolingo and its developers have increasingly started to prioritize user mass engagement, leading to a drop in quality, not just in how material is presented, but also through battery system. Demands create supply. The number of users increases exponentially every day, which naturally leads to features like premium status that makes learning easier and more comprehensive, however to some extent ruins the meanings of the words free and for everyone. But why? Originally, Duolingo used a crowdsourced business model, some kind of startup where the content came from the organizations that paid Duolingo for translations. But over time, the investors were found, including giants like Google Capital, which owns assets worth $45 million USA. So it's obvious that the model free doesn't carry the same meaning it used to. And with the rise of AI technologies, there's no longer a need for such a large staff, so the layoffs continue to these days. Meanwhile, Luis Fonan doesn't see any issue with the excessive use of AI in his brainchild, as long as it gives him substantial profit and high ratings. I've spent 1000 days on Duolingo, so what do I feel? I feel a certain sense of pride. I feel myself more motivated and disciplined opening the app every day, thus inspiring me to make this video and share my own experience. I don't regret of wasted time, it was worth it because now I'm able to express my thoughts in 4 languages. Should I keep using Duolingo? Absolutely, and I'll continue using it as long as it's possible and useful. But as a primary language learning tool, as I mentioned earlier, no. Duolingo is great for building a foundation and works well as a supplementary tool. That's why using it alongside online, offline courses or while self-studying with the high-quality textbook and especially watching video content is highly recommended. Nowadays, Duolingo lacks a bit of aesthetics, especially when these aesthetics are generated via artificial intelligence.
Oscar reaches for the window but loses his balance.
AI, unlike humans, doesn't have consciousness, emotions or intuition, and language, first and foremost, is a human thing, with all its nature and emotional depth. That's what makes who we really are. So that's all for today. Hopefully I managed to express my thoughts clearly and you watched this video till the end. If you did, thank you so much for watching. For you it was just a couple of minutes, but for me a colossal amount of work since end of July. So show your appreciation, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, don't miss future videos. Leave some comments as well. Say what you think about my first experience. In the meantime, I'm off to feed this green creature with my own tears. See you in next videos. Adios. What the hell is this?